Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we will be discussing why The Walking Dead Seasons 7 and 8 should have been combined into one season. So, most people can agree that Seasons 7 and 8 of The Walking Dead are the weakest seasons. One main reason why that is because the original content from the comics is stretched over 32 episodes. The issues in the comics were over 30 issues, so they're doing over an episode per issue, which normally they wouldn't do. Season 7, episode 1 starts in the Something to Fear storyline at issue number 100. From number 100 to 102 is pretty much the entirety of what the first episode is, other than a few extra dialogue scenes up at the hilltop and back at Alexandria, so you could say that it's over the course of the first two episodes. In volume number 18, what comes after is the equivalent of the episodes up to episode 4, I think it is, because this is where Carl sneaks into one of the trucks after Negan comes to Alexandria, and Carl sneaks into the trucks and he goes back to the sanctuary and he kills a bunch of men and he has to watch a guy get his face ironed. I think that was episode 4. I could be mistaken though. After that, we have volume number 19, March to War. Now, halfway through this is when Spencer's death is happening, and Spencer dies in season 7, episode 8. So that's halfway through the first season. Now, by the next issue, we're already at the end of season 7. So they stretched pretty much one issue over the course of 8 episodes. That is a really bad decision right there just to make, because now you have no content to go off of, and you have Rick going on these runs with Aaron when they found the boat floating out in the water in the lake. That was these episodes are just so much filler. It's so stupid. They should have just stuck to what the comics were doing, because Negan's arc in the comics is one of the best comic arcs. It is my second favorite, right behind the Whisperer arc. At the end of season 7, so season 7, episode 16, they did take an element out of All Out War Part 1. They took Holly's death and they gave it to Sasha, just to kind of ramp up the stakes for the next season. So they took about 11 to 12 issues from All Out War Part 1 and All Out War Part 2 and combined it into one season. So that's 12 issues in the one season, which that could work if All Out War wasn't a continuing story where there is basically no stoppage. All Out War, from issues 1 to 12 of it, it is in one straight line, and that is the war of Negan and Rick, and they do not stop. There's no slowing down for other story arcs in between. The show constantly stops during the All Out War arc to just bring in filler episodes of the Trash People and Oceanside. Oceanside was introduced too early into the main show. It should have been introduced into season 9 when it was introduced around in the comics. They did not need Oceanside to defeat Negan. They should have went the route with the comics when it was just Hilltop, Kingdom, and Alexandria that took down the Sanctuary. They did not need Oceanside at the time in the comics. If they took all the content from season 7 and 8 and combined it into one season, then we may still have Carl alive, and a lot of people would have loved that, because Carl is pretty much the main character of the Walking Dead comics. The biggest problem with AMC's Walking Dead is that it tries to venture out too far from the comic. I like when shows go a little bit out from the main story just to introduce a few new characters who are original to the main show, but when they go and introduce entire new storylines that don't exist, it starts to get bad 99% of the time. Now, if season 7 and 8 did get combined into one season, then the season 8 would have been the start of the Whisperers, and we still would have had Carl and Andrew Lincoln there. And then season 10 would come around, and season 10 would come out around the end of the comics. And this is when Andrew Lincoln wanted to leave the show. So if the comics are ending here, then Andrew Lincoln might have said to Scott Gimple, hey, I'll stay on for one more season. The Whisperer arc was also a little bit stretched out, but I will make another video about that. And the Commonwealth arc, it was too short for what it should have been. The Reaper storyline took up too much space, which the Reaper storyline, I like it more than most people. I think it is good, but should they have done it? Absolutely not. It's pretty much just filler when you look at The Walking Dead as a whole, because it comes out of nowhere. There's no connection to the main plot of The Walking Dead show. So all in all, if they combined season 7 and season 8, the new season 7 would have been the best season on the show entirely. There was so much potential for this season, and everything should have just been put into one, because I rather than put 30 issues into 16 episodes than 30 issues into 32 episodes. It just does not work out well at all. That is it for today's video. I will see all of you in the next one. See ya.